What is up, Podheads? Back with a bonus episode, show review, kind of like an in real time, but not really. Yeah, what are we doing here tonight, boys?
Show Yelp. It's Show Yelp.
Yeah. So we're back on this will probably drop on a Friday, not long after we just saw Jerry Cantrell and Filter come through Portland, Maine.
Yeah, we were kind of looking through the catalog. We haven't done any bonus, I hate to say bonus content in a long time. For a while, we were doing the in real times on Fridays and we were cranking those out. And I don't know why. I know why we stopped, but it's just a lot of work.
I know why we stopped. It's too much. You're right. Absolutely.
I know. I had to think about that. I was like, yeah, 2 episodes a week is a lot. Although, Nate, you wanted to go 2 for a while.
Weird. Nate's back. We're doing 2 again. What the fuck is going on here?
I know. And it's funny. It's funny that I had like the least bandwidth and I was like, let's do Joe Rogan style 2 a week,
3 hour
marathons.
Yeah. But we're here tonight. This is an evening where we're a day removed from seeing a show in Portland that, a legend. I'd never seen Jerry Cantrell before. I don't know about you guys. It was first time for me.
It was first time for me. And had you seen him, Nate?
I've never seen Jerry solo. I've seen the new singer or the most recent singer for Alice in Chains, William Duvall, solo. Fantastic lyricist and sounds very, very close to Lane, although he has his own style. But never seen Jerry, although he's rolled through Portland a bunch. He came to the State Theater back in 2002.
Yeah.
I think another time.
Giving us love for a long time. Giving us love up in the Northeast for a long time. Coming up on a really cold night in early February in Maine. I mean, not a lot of bands are coming up right now, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, so Filter opened. I looked. The last time I saw Filter was like 23 years ago. They came through Portland. They played the Civic Center. It was kind of I think it was a radio festival. So it'd been a while. They opened. Solid set. I mean, what, 9 songs? It wasn't a headlining set, but it was a solid. It wasn't an opener set either. It was pretty
the crowd
solid.
Was into it too. Yeah, and actually, I had a question for you, Nate, last night that I almost asked you last night, but I was like, save it for the pod. So there were years there where you had never seen Filter. Was last night your first time seeing Filter?
That's so funny because I remember us talking about that all the time. And yeah, I've seen Filter maybe 3 times.
Okay, so
now.
we didn't get to. It wasn't the first time. We didn't get to do that. Okay, I was kind of like excited that maybe it was your first time too.
I know because the 2002 show you're talking about, Twan. I couldn't go. I had a family reunion, and then like New York City, I had tickets to see a show at the Mercury Lounge, small little venue, and I couldn't get. Or by the time I got out of work, the show just ended. But I met Richard outside. He came out of the show like to go right in the bus. I was like, oh, I just missed you guys. He's like, oh, no, don't worry. I'll put you on the set list. The guest list for the show in New Jersey, which is going to be with STP and Ashes Divide. I'm like, awesome. That's the one where Scott notoriously got wasted.
Well, and that's probably how Army of Anyone started. But that's a divergence. We don't need to go down that path.
Yeah. In other words, I couldn't make it to that show either. So I eventually saw Filter, but yeah, I had seen Filter before. But yeah, they played great last night. And it was good to see basically a dual headline show at a place we used to go to all the time. It used to be called Asylum. Now it's called Aura. They completely revamped it, but it was a good show, man.
Yeah, 1,000-cap venue, and I think it was Richard from Filter. He was like, This is like a mini arena. And if you've ever been to Aura in Portland, Maine, he's spot on. It's almost like a condensed 2-story. There's a balcony with seating. But if you're in the balcony, you're kind of looking down. You're like almost on top, like literally on top of the band. It's cool. If you can get a good seat upstairs, it's a great place. If you can get a good spot downstairs, it's a good place. But it was packed, sold out show in not only the dead of winter, a fucking snowstorm.
Yeah, right. It started snowing while we were in there, and easily the most people I've ever seen in that venue. And I've been to some big shows at that venue. This was the most people I've ever seen at a show at that venue. So Portland came out. They were into both Filter and Jerry's sets, and we are kind of spoiled. We have venues like that in our city, especially as a smaller market, to have a State Theater, to have an Aura, to have stuff that sounds really good. P-Home, small rooms, medium-sized rooms that sound amazing to get these acts to come see us. So really cool that Richard thought that the venue was awesome, because he's right, it's awesome.
So I don't know if you remember, Filter finishes, and it's between acts, and we're just chatting with people around us, and people are geeked out to see Jerry. This guy was like, if he plays this Alice in Chains song, I will cry. And then like there's another guy that doesn't want to leave his spot. He's going to go to the bathroom. Doesn't want to leave his spot. He's just people geeked out for it. And they didn't disappoint. I mean, I remember when they took the stage, I turned to you, Tony, and I was like, that's Greg from Better Lovers. And that's Greg from Dillinger Escape Plan, who's doing vocals with Jerry. And then Nate, you're like, well, that's Zach. Stage left on the guitar is Zach Throne, who is in Corey Taylor's touring band. So it's an all-star lineup.
Yeah. A really cool show, too. Like, Greg walked by us between sets. He must have been, I don't know if he was over at the merch table or went to the bathroom or walked outside. I don't know what his deal was, but he walked by us and I was like, I recognize that guy. And then you said that to me during the set and I was like, no shit, that was him. Yeah, cool. Maybe someday we'll get one of those guys from Better Lovers on. Yeah,
I remember hearing, I think it was in an interview with the other dudes in Better Lovers, they mentioned that Greg toured with Jerry. And I had totally forgot about that until we saw him on stage. And I was like, oh my God, geez, what a trip he's been on. Dillinger and Kill or Be Killed. And
now he's singing Lane Staley parts. Crazy.
Yeah. But let's talk the set list, right? 17 songs, 5 Alice in Chains songs. Those, I mean, it was a big sing-along. Especially Down in a Hole. That was a big sing-along.
I think I posted Down in a Hole on our stories. I have a little video of that, so maybe I'll post it again when this drops. But really cool to hear those songs played by somebody who wrote them. Like, I never thought that was going to happen in my life, that I'd be able to be around and be in a room with, Jerry there, because obviously we can't see Lane, but Jerry there playing the songs, singing some of the songs. Amazing. Just amazing. Like, just didn't think it was going to happen.
And I think this tour was the first time that he's done Hate to Feel live. I read that.
Oh, you're right. Especially like being, obviously we've talked about it so much, but being huge into like the grunge scene growing up, and like all the guitarists in the top and the big four, Mike McCready, Jerry Cantrell, Kim Thayil from Soundgarden, obviously Kurt Cobain with Nirvana, like to have one of the top four in a place like Aura, which is what is it, 1,000 cap?
Yeah,
it's 1,000. It's exactly 1,000.
Yeah, so I mean that's what makes it extra special, because that is a true legend right there from Seattle scene in our hometown. It's rad.
Well, and that show could have easily been at the State. I mean, the demand for the tickets was pretty high after the fact. Once it sold out, I think it sold out not fairly fast, in the medium size, because I think they went on sale back in November, but it sold out pretty quick for winter in Maine, and Portland has an appetite for that stuff, which I'm just happy that bands will come and see that, and especially this time of year. But it absolutely could have been in a bigger venue. I think down the line you might see that happen next time he decides to come through.
Yeah, I know we were talking like pre-show about when the last time Jerry came through to Maine, and I know we were in high school still. He rolled through the State Theater in 2002, and I remember being so stoked. I didn't make it to that show, but I remember interviews leading up to that tour, and Alice in Chains, like them getting back together wasn't off the table. Lane was still with us, and him saying like, yeah, we're in talks, like I'm going to tour for Degradation Trip, and then me and Lane, and we're all talking, so I think it may happen, we may get back together. And obviously Lane passed away, but that was also 2002, so it was all around the same time. I remember being so stoked, like, oh, I think it's going to happen, and maybe Jerry's just doing this Degradation Trip solo tour just to kind of warm up for a reunion. I think it was very much part of the plan. So, but that was the last time I remember Jerry rolling through Portland, but I never seen him till last night. So that was cool.
Yeah. I think like tonight at the time we're recording this, he's there at the House of Blues, and that's what, 2,500 cap?
Much bigger. Yeah. Much bigger.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, bigger market, but
yeah,
the 17 songs, 5 Alice in Chains songs, a bunch off the new record, which I think hit pretty well.
Yeah, I would agree.
I Want Blood, the new album, it came out, I believe, in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
And then Degradation Trip, there's a few songs off that. And then I think there were a few off the Brighton album, which was in 2021.
Yeah. The new record, I know, Anthony, you and I listened to it on the way in, and we were like, ooh, this will be a good one to hear live. Ooh, this would be a cool one to hear live. And then we got, 2 or 3 of them. And I vibed with it more than I thought. Maybe I thought I was going to, even live. Like, listening to them on CD is one thing, right? You don't know how they're going to translate live, but they translated live. So that was pretty cool. It was all in all a really fun evening, and I think it's the first show the 3 of us have been to together in a year and a half. So that's kind of cool too.
Actually, the last show we were together was, I think, at Aura.
It was the Trawl. Yeah, it was their
Trawl
EP
release that Nate, you did the
Nate's the opening
voiceover. The voiceover king.
Oh, yeah.
The Mr. Show voiceover king.
But yeah, all in all, a fun night. Really excited to get acts like this coming to our hometown and, only having to drive 20 minutes to go see a legend, an absolute legend of the game. And I mean, Filter too. Filter's fucking awesome. They've been around forever. I love that band.
Actually, I'll say this. It is not the one good thing about living in Portland, but living in this market, you get acts like that in the small venue where if you live in Boston, you're going to get it at the House of Blues, 2,500 cap, I mean, how many underplays or whatever have we seen in Portland? We've seen a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, good point. Especially even like the arena, like Civic Center would get underplays that were playing like Tweeter Center. Yep. Or whatever the venue is in Mansfield is called now. Massive underplay in comparison to a shed. So good call.
So yeah, that was a brief little fun extra piece of content for everybody, as we say in quotation marks, content, because we're content creators, I guess. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Fun to check that one off the list, and happy to talk about it here today.
No, it feels good to, we joke about content. It feels good to do this in real time, like actually in real time. Drink, because a lot of times we're recording ahead of time, like a month in advance. So it's good to reflect in the moment. And the show was great. We said, hey, we gotta get together and chat about it. So yeah, we will be back on Monday with a new episode. I'm not going to say what or who or how, but it's going to be there.
The next couple of weeks are either brand new records or records that are 30 years old. I'll just give you that.
Mic drop.
Little hint. Breadcrumbs.
Weird. Yeah, that's what we do here. Yeah.
Yeah. It's good to do the real-time drink kind of tidbits, but also good to see shows collectively again now that I'm on the East Coast. So fucking let's go, man. 2025.
We're going to do it again. Yep.
All
right.
Cheers, nerds.
See you next week. Peace.
Thank you for listening to Podioslave. We are at Podioslave on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of the places that you can find us on social media. Facebook, Podioslave Podcast. YouTube, Podioslave Podcast there. Email us at podioslavepodcast@gmail.com. And hey, if you want to become a supporter, click on the link at the bottom of the episode and give us $1, give us $5. It keeps the lights on, keeps us going. We really appreciate that stuff. Thank you.